Hello there everyone, Sabaki here, and welcome to a beautiful morning here in the Nine Realms, where we are headed out into the wilds for another big, ambitious build, because today I want to build a farming outpost. Now, because I did want to get going as early in the day as possible, I spent the night getting a few things squared away. So quick recap for those who left comments in the last video. Yes, I finally found and upgraded that single flimsy fence in New Asgard's perimeter. I added iron bars to be shipped back from Beautifying along with our other broken tool parts. I crafted a whole bunch of raven potions for quick travel as we are headed out some distance. And finally, I put most of what we need for our farming outpost into this cart, the resources for the outpost itself, and the seeds for our farms, which I borrowed from our existing ones. Okay, so here we are in Beautifying, where I just plundered all of our farmers' seeds. So let's take a look at the map and try to find a good spot for this outpost. Let's also get rid of some of these markers so it's a little easier to see what we got to work with. And structures and people. Actually, no, I kind of like the structures on. Gives a sense of scale. So criteria-wise, I need an area that has a lot of flat land, a lot of water sources, and somewhere that isn't directly next to an existing settlement. So, for example, this area here, perfectly flat, lovely, wide open area, but it's basically on New Asgard's doorstep, so that's a no. We actually have this really big area here, but I have kind of earmarked that for a future fishing outpost since it is so close to the coast. Over here, on the other side of the island, we have a couple of candidates. There's this area just south of Beautifying, but honestly, again, I think that's just too close. And then here, a little northeast, a lovely long open area here. Maybe if we set up further east and not north, it would actually be a bit further away, and therefore that could work. I think that might be a good option. So how about we just head on over there and look with our eyes? Oh, one more thing. I wanted to try and bring some party members to see if that helps get things up and running faster. Never tried it, wanted to see how it works. Filter by main village only, and we just want to bring out some builders. I don't want to disrupt anyone's work. So Arvid, Halfdan, and Torsten. All right, let's get going. Right, so first impressions are good. Actually, this place has that open, flat land we were hoping for. There is a cemetery nearby though, so something to watch out for. But yeah, lots of open space to work with. In fact, let's go into the cart and dump everything out, because fun fact, smokers will only eat resources directly out of your containers or your villagers' pockets while they sleep. Smokers will not eat resources off the floor for some reason. I haven't actually heard or seen any, but just in case, I want to protect my seeds and outpost materials. The only downside I can see for this area is there are a lot of those boulders, but you can just make bombs now, so I think we can overcome it. Farming with bombs. I think I just found the title of the video. Okay, one last thing. Before I commit, I do want to do a quick perimeter run just to check for any other enemy POIs and get a better sense of our surroundings. Yeah, so I'll start here. We'll loop all the way back around this way, uncover more of the island, see what's out there, see what other kind of threats we might be dealing with out here. Oh. Well, hello there. Okay, granted, there is one small problem with this area. Alright, well, if we've got a bear on the loose nearby, we're probably going to want to do some defenses here or here for when it respawns. Probably going to forget about that one, though. There's a Draugr field over there. Another cemetery up ahead. Looks like a small one though, I think. Oh, that's our cart. This is the first one we saw. Whoopsie. I won't bother fighting the skeletons just yet, but it might be a good idea to farm them eventually for the new weapons for our Tinkerer. Ooh, there's another clearing here. It's a little further out, which might work better for us instead. With wolves. I like wolves. Hello, buddy. Is this another cemetery? No, it's just that regular rock thing. No Jotun blood on this one. Rude. Alright, let's just tag this wolf den and head back to the car and see what we've uncovered. There's there's the wolf den chime. I'll deal with the wolves themselves later. It's already 3 p.m. Yikes. Oh, be quiet. Made me. Always makes me jump. Alright, so what have we got to work with? So yeah, we have a couple of POIs on this side. We got a Draugr field and a small cemetery. And then on the other side, towards the west, we have that wolf den, which actually is kind of helpful. I would like to start farming the wolf dens for their leather. This area up here did look really promising when I walked into the clearing, but alas, it is kind of small. And I'm envisioning having at least 3, maybe 4 or 5 farms in our farming town, so this area just won't cut it. So I'm going to go ahead with my gut instinct and just settle this area here. It fits everything we need to do. It is a big, wide open, flat field, plenty of water supplies. Yes, there are those boulders, but we are going to be blowing those up if they do get in the way, which is just more fun. It's more fun if you make a farm with the bomb. Although I am already wishing I brought some with me. Let's just clear out some of these vegetables and little bits that are in the way and see if we can actually fit this in. Alright, so direction-wise, I have the arrow of the outpost facing right down the barrel of this clearing, because I'm envisioning a road, a paved road, eventually coming straight down the middle of this clearing and then going straight into this outpost, you know, hitting this outpost head on. And then on either side of the paved road, we'll have all of those water collectors and farms and cottages, and it's really going to be sort of like a farming community built from this main highway that we have now, you know, essentially winding halfway across the island. So let's pop that down. Let's hold shift. We got a party member, Torsten. He's a builder. Can I have Torsten do this? No. Oh, that's a shame. Well, since he's a builder, can I thought I could bring my guys out here and just tell them to build. Whoops. But now that he's a builder, he's going home to eat. Alright, fine. Guess I'm doing this myself. Ah, damn it. I started on the wrong one. That's going to ruin the time lapse. There it is. Outpost up in record time. I actually had a helper last night. Let's take a look at it. It is a red outpost. No, it's a farming outpost. Let's change that to a nice farm green. As for the name, I have no idea actually. Farming town. I'm going to rely on you guys again to come up with some good Norse names for farming towns in the comments. I have no earthly idea what we should name this place. And assign workers, I will hold off on that for tonight. We need to get a cottage up. Our builders will help with that, and then we'll assign some people to the cottage, and then we can start making some farms. We'll do that. I will get started on clearing out some of the area around here for the cottage, pop it down, and then see how fast we can get this thing built. Okay, I have more than enough stuff laying on the ground for our builders to start and probably finish with the cottage. So now let's think about what we need to ship in to help this farming outpost get on its feet before we can then start shipping out all of the produce. Oh, it's going to be like an actual proper farmer's market. I love this. Oh, wait. What's the Viking term for farmer's market? Something kiosk, maybe. That might be the name. But anyway, we want to put down a weapon and tool rack so that we can ship in any weapons and tools that we need for our defenders and our farmers. I've already put down a cooked food storage since we will need to ship in some cooked food in the beginning, at least. We'll need arrows as well for any hunters. Still haven't sent any smokers, but you can never be too careful. Again, this menu makes no sense. I can never find stuff. There it is. If anyone wonders how I do these nice rotating shots, the answer is badly and with an unsteady hand. Long sticks. Sticks and long sticks. Always sticks and long sticks. Sticks and long sticks and rope in various quantities. Oh. The outpost pole ruined that one. I haven't figured out how to do this yet. I suppose the most efficient way is to bring the tools and weapons from Nithafeklik. Use Nithafeklik as sort of like a stepping stone. So New Asgard will be sending stuff to Nithafeklik for Nithafeklik, but Nithafeklik will be sending stuff out to the farming outpost, and then it gets replenished in the next delivery. That makes the most sense right now. So let's use Gustav. Let's give him a task to bring in some meat soup. He's delivering meat soup already to Jotengard. He can just deliver some meat soup out here as well. And I think 10's fine. We're not really going to have that many people living here to begin with. Just standing ready with my long stick in hand for a quick finish. Look at that. I'm not role-playing or anything right now, but I can't sprint. Why can't I sprint with the cart? I'm definitely holding shift. All right, what's going on? Tactical roll. Oh, I'm crouching. You can crouch while not crouching and pulling the cart. That makes no sense. But anyway, I'm heading back home to New Asgard because it's evening time and I am just wary of there being a blood moon. I don't have the defenses in place to handle it by itself. I want to be there in case anything untoward happens tonight. I really got to clean out those Draugr. I cleaned out those Draugr when I did the video showing that you can use the party members to clean out Draugr, and then I never actually did it in my proper game. Typical Bucky. Very pretty sunset, though. What? Editor Bucky here? What the heck was that? I've been playing it backwards and forwards for about 10 minutes. No idea. Some sort of angry sprite exploded right next to me. Had no idea what that was all about. Everyone hard at work here. Good evening, sir. Let's go park this up by the reeds. Take a look at the time. Maybe take a nap at the chieftain's hut, actually. That would be a smart idea. So we'll pop you there. UI back on. Ooh, 9 o'clock. I think I have time. I have time for a cheeky chieftain's hut nap. Hello. Apparently no blood moon tonight. Very, very good. Let's just get some building done, eh? Before I start shifting villagers over here, let's go ahead and check our food supply. We don't want them to immediately starve. No food. Interesting. I set up the route, right? I did. What's our food supply like over in Nithafeklik then? We have so much food though. Look at all those meat and veggies. Oh, you know what I keep forgetting to do? I keep meaning to get a wolf pup out here as a sort of mascot, outpost mascot, because they eat so much meat. But here, apparently, we have so much meat. But anyway, yeah, our raw food supply is perfectly fine. It's just not translating into actual soup. So it's probably just a simple production problem, to be honest. So for now, I think it makes more sense to ship over the raw meat and we can barbecue it up here. And then we can just add another cook to the Nithafeklik cooking house next time we're passing through. Yeah, so let's grab ourselves a raw food storage and also not so close to the cooked food because that seems gross. All right, storage up. Let's revise what's his face market route. Gustav's market route. So soup, none. Raw meat, yes please. We need a couple more things in place out here before we can start building the farms, but at least now we have some food, we can start bringing people in. So the first thing we're gonna need is a well. That'll take care of hydration. There we go. I knew these sticks would come in handy. Or rather, I knew 17/20ths of the sticks would come in handy. Nice to see the beds being finished. Let's quickly assign some people out here. Let's filter by main settlement. And I want to bring in builders. So again, sort by workplace, and builders will be at the top. Torsten for sure will need the archery skill for either the wolves or any smokers that happen to be around here. Halfdan, you're a nighttime green thumb. You'll eventually be an excellent farmer, so I might as well grab you as a builder for now. We have 6 bears, so 4 more to work with. Sigurd is a forager. Might be useful to have a forager, really, but at the very least they can cook or man a warehouse. That leaves 3. Liv is a bear power stormforge. Heck of a good warrior recruit, so yes, we will be building a barracks out here for the wolves and skeletons. Okay, nighttime bear power, resilient surge, winter beast. This is the best looking winter invasion warrior perk person I've ever seen. I need to start trading him at New Asgard like yesterday. Jeez, absolute bonkers invasion defender. Rune can live here, and Angsnar. Okay, that's 6 out of 7, so pretty good start to be fair. Right, before I forget, because I can already hear half of you typing in the comments that I forgot to assign Arke. Look, here, Arke, start training as a warrior, please. And I'll even go one step further. Arke can be a sword bruiser, because I believe we've unlocked the reforged ancient recipe in the last episode. So actually, let's double check that. Here's the metalworker, open up the task, add a task, then down here. Ah, bugger, 98%. Wonderful. Alright, so we'll set a task for the crude two-hander instead, and then Arke can upgrade it when we discover the ancient one. Probably means I have to go clear those bloody Draugr bodies after all. And I know I said everyone in this playthrough is going to have a one-handed shield, but yeah, that was before the Tinkerer update, so new plan, I want those shiny new weapons. Seeing as we just used 6 of our 7 beds, it's probably a good idea to put down a second cottage. It's a big bill, so better to get started on that sooner rather than later. There's room right next to the current one, but honestly, no. I want to add a bit of character to this place. I don't want this to be a min-max dull box build, so instead, let's have our farmer's cottage a little ways off, maybe over here where it will be surrounded by the farms. But before I place down the cottage, let's tag all these water sources with a well. I do not want to lose any of those if I can help it. And another... I hate to do this, but this water source is right in the middle of the clearing. I'm going to close my eyes when I do this. Remove it. That hurt my soul, but I promise you my plan is way better. Maybe it is. Don't worry, it is much better. Alright, so where do I want you, you bloody big bastard? How about here? Yeah, quite like that. Okay, it is 6 o'clock in the evening. My builders are all working on the cottage. I just realized I have to run back home to New Asgard. We might have a blood moon tonight, so I'm going to very, very quickly try and get up a barbecue so that I can assign a cook here to start cooking all the raw meat that we're bringing in from Nithafekle. Quick change of priority there by untagging and then retagging the cottage. That means my builders are going to finish the barbecue pit and the fire cover before getting back to work on the cottage. I think that's how that works. Why do I always do this to myself? Why do I always leave things to the last minute? I really got to start paying attention to the time. Here, you know what? Take all this rope. You're going to need it for the cottage. I need to get out of here. Ah, crap. I dropped my raven potions. Where are they? There you are. Okay, let's go. Home with an hour to spare. Wasn't even worried. I am silently, or I guess as I'm talking, not so silently, hoping for a blood moon, because the benefit of having a blood moon is you're not going to get one the following night, or maybe even nights. You don't get them back to back at the very least. You might not even get them for 2 or 3 days guaranteed. There is a grace period, so the sooner we get a blood moon, the sooner I can just spend a good 48, 72 hours over in the farming outpost, getting everything set up. So everyone, fingers crossed, blood moon tonight. Also, cross your toes so I can have a green thumb nighttime worker. Not bad. Thanks for that. Oh, yes. Thank you again. It worked. Ask and you shall receive. What a good go. What a good one. I'm getting better and better defenders. My problem is I don't have them spread out enough. So I think I have an idea on sort of like that problem. And, you know, it's obviously, we're going to need to summon a lot more villagers. I need to do an episode. I need to do like 2 episodes, I think, where I'm just in New Asgard summoning. Probably the same episode that we do a lot of longhouse building. But now that we are clearing out the farm area, we'll be able to build a bunch of longhouses, do an absolute blitz in summoning, and then use those for warriors for the most part. And then we'll be able to spread them around New Asgard, so I'm running around a little less, and I'm able to rely on them a little more. Ugh, this is so boring. So with that thought in mind, now this wall is wonky as sin. But with that thought in mind, I want to come in here. I want to do a improved barracks on this side of town. Pull it out a little bit, and I'll explain why in a second. We'll pop you down like so. We'll come in here, and then we'll just also build a warehouse. Can I squeeze you in? I can't. Okay, so I need to dismantle you. The barracks here, of course, is to train some more warriors and help with spreading out that defense force so that they'll be able to more quickly respond to blood moons. And in the warehouse, I want to build some arrow racks and weapon racks so that we can have a supply of bows and arrows delivered here for when we finally get around to manning all of these towers with archers. Then they're not going to have to run across town every 5 seconds grabbing more. Honestly, I'm done. I'm done. Okay, I'm done. All right, fine. One more. Heading on back to Outpost 3, we've had our blood moon, so I will be able to stay out there now for a couple of days, probably long enough to get the farms up, get some more villagers out there, and really start the production of this farming outpost. Now, I've been trying to think about how many we need. We have 2 farms right now, and that is doing just fine. So I'm thinking about having 3 vegetable farms. That way it's future-proofed. And then we'll have 1 flax-only farm, so a farm number 4 will just be flax-only. Instead of having 1 field for flax, I think having a 3-field and eventually 4-field of flax harvest would be able to like power us through all of the linen and cloth needed to keep everyone clothed. There's a lot of clothing degradation now, which isn't a huge problem with the linen gambeson. It doesn't take a leather. No, actually it does. It takes 1 leather, but that's we can mitigate that. And then, you know, 4 farms. That's 16 fields. I think that's going to look beautiful going down that long, open, you know, clearing. I think once it's all up, we might not get all 4 up today. I don't think we need all 4 up today. I'll be happy with 2 farms, and maybe if we have time for a 3rd farm, I think that'd be an amazing super goal. That is our villager arriving. What did I just discover? What did I just discover? Ooh, actually, was that a... That wasn't a POI. Was that a recipe? Let's go into here. I don't know how to figure it out. Let's just add a task. Was it a... It was Reforged Ancient Greatsword. We learnt that. Oh, and a Reforged Ancient Shield. Oh, I'm so happy with that. Actually, I really want one of those. Request one Reforged Ancient Greatsword. And we'll come into our task. Where is it? And we'll get rid of this one. Bye-bye. And then we'll add a task for Reforged Ancient Shields. I'm so happy with that. Let's have 2 on hand at all times. Yes! I'm excited. I want these top. I want these top priority. All right, in the sarcastic tone of Dr. Ian Malcolm, how about we get some farms down in this farm episode, huh? That was my Ian Malcolm Jurassic Park impression. What do you think? Okay, so I started with just the 2 farms next to the wells. We'll get those up, get their fields up, and we'll go from there. So there are bunnies. Obligatory, isn't that pretty? I really do like how this UI mirrors the shape of the actual field. It's a nice little touch. Crop wise, I'm not doing anything too complicated. It's just going to be some berries in the spring, cabbage in the summer and autumn, and then beets in the winter. And I'll do that for each of the fields assigned to this farm. And for this one, I'll do the same: berries in the spring, beets in the winter, and then I'll just swap out that cabbage for carrots so that we have a bit of variety going on. And I pulled our farmers across overnight. They're now living in the second cottage, and it's nice to see that they are already hard at work. Speaking of hard work, I think we should just go ahead and put down a 3rd farm, to be honest, because we have like 5 builders out here right now. These things are getting put up really, really quickly. Okay, so while my builders get started on farm number 3, I actually haven't sorted out the market route for tools yet. Mainly because I've been trying to figure out the best way to do it. And I think I settled on using the route that we have already in place with Gustav bringing meat. Meat is a small item, so we should be able to bring tools, which are medium items, over. And so what we're essentially going to be doing is we'll be shipping tools from New Asgard to Nithafeklik for Nithafeklik, but then Nithafeklik is going to be shipping tools over to this outpost, whatever you guys decide the name will be, and then the tools that are missing in Nithafeklik will be replaced from tools from New Asgard. It's sort of like a leapfrog system. I don't really want to risk one market worker going all the way from New Asgard to this farming outpost. It is a really long way, and with the way the market workers currently work, when they just end their shift and leave their sled wherever they happen to be, that is just a massive risk, losing that many tools, or in the future that much produce. And now with the market route set up, remember we got to come over to the tool rack and make sure we have a specific quantity of tools set. Otherwise we're just going to end up with 20 of one and none of the other. So always remember to put down your quantities. Whoops. Nighttime is here, and I have no fear because we had the blood moon last night. Nothing bad is happening tonight. Probably. What's wrong with you? Oh, you need rakes. Don't worry, you'll have some in the morning. You can have some cabbage seeds, though. Right, I gotta go see a dog about a man who made my shield, or something like that. I don't know how the saying goes. Hey, look, check this out. Painted Viking shield. Okay, back to work. Alright, now we get to the bit that honestly, between you and me, I'm most excited for. See that gap right between the farms? I'm gonna put a road down that, now that I found it. Alright, here we go! Oh, what's blocking me? A tree stump? You shall not come between me and my dreams. This is going to look so good. And we can have fences on either side. Torches, if there's room, is going to look so good. All right, slight curve here. And then I want to hit the outpost right in the center of its face. Bloody perfect. That's going to look so good. I'm so excited for this. Oh, I completely glazed over the fact that the 3rd farm got built. Every time I put something down, it just gets slapped together, like, instantly. Worker-wise, we have Bodil, who is a nighttime green thumb. We have Arvid, who is also a nighttime green thumb. Ah, oh well. I'll just assign these two, and one of them is going to be a little bit upsetty spaghetti. We seem to have bumped into one of the small boulders, but never mind. I can blow it up with bombs now. Ugh, I've forgotten to make the bombs, haven't I? Sunset establishing shot. Bit of a different angle right now. I want to amend our Asgard Central to Jotengard market route. I would like to add to this 3 of those reforged ancient Draugr shield for our wonderful warriors over there. And then on the return journey, where Hedvig is just bringing those 3 broken axe heads back, let's go ahead and just add a whole bunch of metal plates. Reason I'm putting so many in is because the shields themselves take a bunch of metal plates to make. I think 2, maybe 3, I don't know, maybe 2, probably 2. And then also their linen gambesons all use metal plates too. And with clothing degradation being what it is and breaking really fast, I'm kind of expecting them to break in the next couple of episodes, so we will have to bring those metal plates back in order to craft them replacements. Third farm done. Again, record time. I'm loving this so much. We only have the 2 fields to work with, so I'm going to go ahead and make this the flax only farm. Flax full year round on both fields, and then when we get round to blowing up that rock and adding a third, we'll just add in another flax year round field. And since it's the same crop year round, grows each season, do not need to clear previous plants. I'm a little disappointed at the speed this road is being built. Nobody seems to be taking on the task. You know it, I know it. Why build 3 when you can build 4 for 4 times the price or something like that? Let's go ahead and put down a 4th farm, and this one is going to be a garlic and onion farm. I think those are the only crops we're not currently growing. In the winter, obviously, it'll be beets again, but yeah, growing some garlic and onions would be great to have for on-hand healing. Look at that, build site just instantly swarmed by my builders. Could you do the bloody road though? I'll just chop down some trees. Looks like they need a couple of the firs for long sticks and then a couple of the larger firs for logs. Should be done in a pinch. Looks like our 4th farm is up and running. What a fantastic effort by the builders. I'm super happy with that. Again, or for the first time, if Edit Bucky cut it out, this is going to be a garlic and onion field, but I want to do it in a bit of an interesting way. I'm going to do half of the field garlic and half of it onion. There is absolutely no benefit in this unless you have like less seeds of both, I guess, but I'm just doing it because it looks a little bit fun and I want everything even Stevens. Beetroot in the winter, of course, because that's the only thing that grows. And clear your plants, people. The next thing we're going to want to need is some warehouses. I don't want to use the outpost storage because we are going to be producing a lot, and I mean like a metric ton worth of produce. So I want an entire warehouse dedicated to the raw food and an entire warehouse dedicated to water. And oh my god, it is 8 p.m. I have to get back home. Boom! Do you think he crapped his pants? Any second now. Good call, bad call. Lucky call. Oh my gosh. Thank goodness I took the Raven potions with me. forgot to blow my bloody horn after wave 2 and they all buggered off and had to take out wave 3 all by myself. Nice. I know I often complain about my market workers not bringing back their sleds or cars, but this seems a little bit like malicious compliance. You know what? Fine. I'm tired of waiting. I'll just finish the road myself. How about that? Let's take a look at you. Oh, yes. Easily top 5 favorite thing I have ever done in this game. That looks amazing. The barracks has been up for a while and I haven't done anything with that yet. So let's go ahead and assign... I can't remember. Arke has a lot of melee skill. So let's go ahead and assign Arke. Then I want to come into the weapon loadout and make sure that Arke is a bruiser. That way we can give him that two-handed reforged ancient sword and see how powerful that absolute beast is. Why do I do this? Why am I running? I can just do it from the map. Let's come into the market. Give Fighty a new task from Asgard Central to Nithafechlich. And then, yep, Fighty, give him his cart. Now let's ship out that ancient reforged iron two-handed sword that we have made. It should be in here somewhere. And remember, we're doing the leapfrog thing. Where is it? These are the basic versions, right? The ones that are dropped by the enemies. They're not the reforged ones. Can you not ship them out then? Oh, I think I found a little bug, or I'm not really understanding how this works. Alright, never mind. I'll just have to go and pick it up and deliver it to him personally next time I'm in town. Okay, we are getting to the end of this build, the end of this episode, and so I'm just going around now putting on the finishing touches, starting with these broken metal part storage collector salvage bin things. I want to put one of these next to every farm. You can see there's actually an iron bar on that farm right there, so somebody's broken their rake and just left the iron part on the ground. Having these bins around town is going to eliminate that, because instead of dropping it on the field, our workers will go ahead and pop them in these bins, and then we'll just have that same setup that we have in all the other outposts, where we have the outpost workers bringing those metal parts into a metal parts storage collector, and then we'll be shipping those back for recycling. Why are you growing bark? We'll be getting our first harvest soon, so it's about time we made ourselves a cooking hut, and then we can transfer our barbecue worker out over here to a much more enjoyable workstation. I like the idea of it going here. It seems to fit quite well, but if we look over there, our raw food storage is really far away, so I think I'm going to call a mulligan on this hunter's hut that I put up last night, and instead pop the cooking hut down here. It's just a little bit closer to that raw food warehouse. It also has the benefit of having a well right next door, so I think that just makes a little bit more logistical sense. Okay, time for a quick nap and then one more thing that I promised to do. Actually, there's 2 more things that I promised to do, but we'll do the first one first, because that's how it works. Easy does it. One wrong bump and I'm taking out Nithafechlich. Things are coming along quite nicely. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Just coming down the main strip with an entire cart full of bombs. Don't mind me. Nothing to see here. Look at this, though. I love how this all came together. This fencing and stone road really are bringing those rustic farmland vibes front and center. I think this is the most beautification I've done this entire series, and man, it is making me itch to do more. And now, I know I've said this a couple of times already, but I do have a few very small, very quick things to do before we can wrap things up, starting with this warehouse. This is going to be that water storage warehouse that I originally built over by the outpost, but have since moved here. And that's because I just want to give our farmers access to a lot more water in the long term. Water storages are really good for this. All right, that is set and done. So next up, explosive time. We do have a few of these large rocks blocking field placement and also market placement for my idea of where to put it. And that used to be a problem, but it is a problem no more thanks to the power of the explosive sack. Now, contrary to my explosives update video where I said you can only blow up 1 rock per explosive, if you're clever enough, you can actually blow up more than 1 rock chunk at a time. You just have to get it between them, sort of like in the center. The explosive radius of the bombs is a bit on the small side, but you can generally get 2, sometimes even 3 of these chunks done in one go. Ah, crap, I can do a better one. That was worth it. That was totally worth it. 10 out of 10. I would do that again in a heartbeat. My computer is lagging. I don't know what's going on there. Probably too many explosives going on. All done. A lot of craters now, though. Looks as though the first harvest has come in. A couple hundred cabbages there, couple hundred carrots too. We are going to be back on track with our food production in no time at all. I think I'm done now though, right? I think that's everything I could possibly do. Oh, the cooking hut's up too, by the way. All right, one last look at the farmland before I head back to New Asgard to make the helmet that you guys all voted on. But I am genuinely impressed with how much we got done today. I'm also really impressed with the 2x8 farm fields. I've never done that before, but I love the row of cabbages there on the left and the row of carrots there on the right. I am so happy right now. But anyway, let's go make that helm and finish the episode. I went through the entire comment section of the last video and the full iron helmet won the vote. However, when I went to craft it, I noticed that the heavy iron helmet has been unlocked. One of our villagers is now level 75 crafting, so I made that instead. I hope you don't mind. I feel like if you voted for the full iron helmet, you would be fine with the heavy iron helmet. It's just the natural progression of that one there. I also made myself the Guardian Pauldrons, which is the first time I've ever made those so far in this game, so that's pretty neat. You can see them kind of poking out of my heavy pelt cape right there, and no, seriously, no, we're not doing another blood moon. Okay, so as I was saying before we got rudely interrupted by the undead and the curse, I'm going to leave this episode here. Don't forget to leave a comment below though with naming suggestions for the farming outpost. Looking ahead, we have our next winter invasion in a week, 7 days, actually not 10 or so like I thought 5 minutes ago. So we've really got to dig in, literally, to prepare for that. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed your time here. If you did, then please consider grabbing a sub, dropping a like or leaving a comment. And I will see you in the next video. Cheerio.